Hi, I'm Barry from Events Glasgow.
And I'm Kimberly from at KD Sax.
Today we are sponsoring the podcast for George and Caitlin for Elder Talking.
So please give them a big like and follow.
And subscribe.
You can find me at KD.Sax on Instagram.
And me, BM Events Glasgow on Facebook and Instagram as well.
So that's enough from us. Now let's get into the episodes.
So as a celebrant, my job's done by the time the music starts, unless we've got ceremony music, of course, happening, which we sometimes do. But the real party begins when our two guests take over.
As someone who has been on Barry's dance floor at my own wedding, I can confirm the vibes were vibing.
So we're talking today all things wedding party, tons of energy, musical magic, and what really makes guests hit the dance floor.
So, Barry, need to start off. Do you know that we've made it in life? We've made it onto the Corinthians wedding brochure.
Nice.
Your felt dance floor. It is fantastic. We'll put the photo in.
Yeah.
But full to the absolute max. Don't think you actually could get any more people on there.
It's very true. Very true.
It was absolutely fantastic.
It's one of those cool black and white pictures.
Nice.
But it's just a sea of heads
Yeah.
and fingers in the air. I don't know if there are glow sticks involved in that picture.
No.
I think it's a finger moment,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's
Yeah.
a finger moment.
I also realised how many people don't know how to dance, so just go like this. Yeah.
That's me.
That's me. I'm too left foot.
Great memories from that
It was
night.
actually,
What stands out for you?
So I always say a wedding's all around on night entertainment. So it depends on how it goes, stuff like that. I always remember yours getting because Santa Claus, sax player, just the crowd in general, and also doing like the Cupid Shuffle and things like that.
Oh
So
yeah.
I always remember, and I've also done weddings for years, so it's like always sticks in your mind. But
I really appreciate that you remembered the Cupid
I
Shuffle.
know, that's one of your
People in
things.
the UK
Aye.
need to get
and
involved
also
in this.
doing your first dance together as like what'd you do again? You
With choreographed and
choreographed
actual
Aye,
dance.
so it was choreographed
yeah.
dance as well. So
Yeah.
it was just kind of one of the weddings that just flowed perfectly. I'm not saying because I'm also here, but it just did.
No, we'll take
I
it.
made
We'll
it.
take
I made
it.
it. It wasn't yourself, Kimberly. We did have a sax player.
Why not me?
Sorry. But no, I'm looking forward to hearing a bit more about the actual behind the scenes and things like that because as being on the other side of it and actually being the bride part of it and then going right. How does it work now on the other side? I find it very interesting to go now that I'm in the wedding industry going, is that how things go behind? Or just finding out, how it works for different people. We all have different ways. So
What I can say, we don't just press buttons.
Yes.
Folks,
yeah.
just stand press
I
buttons.
think
Right? No,
that's
no.
a good point because I think everyone in the wedding industry sees other vendors and coming in and out of the day, and it is a big jigsaw puzzle, isn't it? Big project for the couple to put together, and what they don't see is the stuff in the background.
Yeah.
So they don't see the planning of the playlist. They don't see the hours of practice of the saxophone player
And
for
I think
years.
a big part of it as well is that they don't appreciate, I think sometimes from the bridal party view, that you're there, even though you're a sax player and you're maybe only a small hour or an hour and a half of it, you're there for a good hour and a half before it to set up, to pack up, to get a wee chat with a DJ as well, depending on what part of the day you are. If it's a drinks reception you're set up way before the ceremony to make sure that you're all sorted and stuff.
yeah.
So all these wee things come into play. So it's quite, as like you say, it's
Big
quite a kind of jigsaw to kind of get in there.
Absolutely. Now, listen, I'm sure you've tuned into many episodes of I'll Do the Talking.
Yep.
I
So
have.
you might know what's going to come next, and that is you need to do your I'll Do the Talking vows. Now, this allows you to continue with the podcast, but in order to do that, we're going to have to get you to say these
excited, I'm
vows. So
excited.
pass that over to Barry.
Okay.
And we'll give that to you, Kimberly. So I'm going to ask Kimberly, actually, just as she has a wee scan of it just now, to take your I'll Do the Talking vows.
Okay. I, Kimberly of KD Sax, solemnly swear on this podcast mic to blow minds and a few sax solos. The promise the dance floor will stay full and electric. To share the secrets of on all the tunes that really get your granny grooving. And with George on the mic, like the MC of matrimony, and Caitlin film it all for the highlights reels. I'll do the talking.
Well done, Katie. I love the passion
Thank you. It's the
that
teaching
you
in me.
inserted into that Bowie recital. Brilliant.
Barry,
Over you,
no
Barry.
pressure.
No pressure. I, Barry from Beam Events, solemnly swear on the podcast mic to keep the vibes high and the tempo higher, to drop bangers, not clangers, and to cue the confetti exactly on the beat. And never, ever play Agadoo without warning the couple first. And with George bringing the ceremony rhythm and Caitlin captaining the dance floor chaos, today I'll do the talking.
Yes,
Fantastic.
well done, guys. That's a little
Get these
memento of
framed. I'm
the
just about to say,
occasion.
keep this.
Well
go
done. You've earned the right to continue
Yep.
the podcast vibes. A few good ones in there. Caitlin doesn't see any of them, by the way. It's always a wee surprise for her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Which is always good.
That's why the
I'm
laughter was
always
flowing
very,
there.
always very entertained by it, so it's great. Well, you mentioned there that you are a teacher. You've got
I
your
am.
teacher voice on
I
as
am, I
well.
know.
So you do teaching as well, and then
So
do you just
do
do
full-time.
saxophone at school?
So I do. I'm the head of music and art in a high school, so I do that full time. So that's 5 days a week, and then I do my gigging at the weekend. He's going to say that I'm only a part-time teacher. He does this all the time. I can see him looking his eyes like part-time. He's always
Part-time
saying
job, part-time job. And a
How do you
full-time
know each
sax
other,
player.
by the way?
It was actually through Chris
it.
Cook.
It was through a mutual pal.
Through
Yeah.
Crookie. Because I was trying to get him to do a party, and he's like, I can't do it. And I was like, well, it's like Kimberly can do
Recommend
it.
somebody?
I'm bringing the B
I
team.
actually
So
seen Kimberly, give her due. I seen Kimberly done a duet together.
yeah, we did.
doing
So
sax
Chris
and,
and
like,
I do
piano,
quite a lot
keyboard.
of work together.
Yeah. I've seen Chris
So
page,
yeah, so that's how I get into this as well.
Yeah.
So basically, pre-COVID, I had a 20-piece big band called
Wow.
Cosmopolitan Big Band. So we used
Wow.
to go out and do weddings, played in Glasgow every weekend, and Cafe Source before it closed down, and that's what happened. And then obviously, sadly, COVID happened, and then the wedding industry took a bite, and you couldn't have 20 people out doing big bands and having that kind of atmosphere. It was very, very different, but it was our kind of background. Chris and I worked together at schools, and he had sort of said, "Look, by that point, the kind of saxophone thing had taken off."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, listen, I think you should do a wee drinks reception, or we'll do a few videos and things." And as Barry was saying there, I would do piano and he would do some sax stuff. And then I've never looked back. I'm now like a wee gigging machine and out most weekends. And then that's how we kind of got to know each other as well. And it's been a good wee partnership as well.
Yeah,
So it's worked
yeah,
well.
I think in the wedding industry, you do need to form alliances and friendships and partnerships, don't you?
Yeah.
And then, of course, recommendations come from
Yeah.
yourselves, and then the wider group of, if somebody's not available, you go to the next
And I think
people
that's
you know
a
and
big
trust.
thing. I think, see, when you're going from sax players and DJs, and I'm sure Barry will agree, when you're out working with different people, it's important that you get on with everybody as well. Do you know what I mean? And we've all got different personalities.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I
Because
think
that will
kinda-
come across in the performance, won't it?
Aye,
Yeah, of course. You know,
Definitely,
of course.
definitely.
It's almost like you
So-
just look across at each other. You know, there's a break to get in with the sax, or kind of
Yeah.
put a new tune or something.
So I'm different because when Kimberly, like she'll maybe do like a sax hour, like somewhere
Yeah.
else, it's like
Aye.
a set playlist.
Yeah.
Whereas I play like kind of mash up stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll play
So like to
something
try
and
and
she'll
trip
be
me up
like,
as I'm going
I
out,
know,
just
she's
put
like,
things in random keys, aye.
and she'll be like, what the?
So
And we
that is
catch her
something
out.
that I'm quite interested to know about, like how that part of it worked, because I've seen a number of different sax players at
Yeah.
all different points during the day, so it is quite different. That I'm imagining at a drinks, reception when there's
Yeah.
not a DJ there. I'm imagining you probably have like a
So-
backtrack sort of thing.
Yeah,
that you
so
play.
we would like, so normally if we're doing sort of ceremony stuff, if I'm just going out by myself, sometimes I'll record the piano stuff, and then I'll have that as a backing, and then I'll accompany
Right.
myself as I'm doing it live.
Right.
That's really cool.
I
by
know,
the
just
way.
like that. Here we go. I can do it all.
You're like me featuring me.
Me.
Thank you.
I love me. So I wish. It's usually me running about like that. Here we go with the PA system. But I would, or else I plug into him back, I plug in. But and then for drinks receptions, it can be a mix. See, nowadays it used to be drinks receptions, and I think this has came up in a few of the brides chats. I think it just depends on the kind of vibe of the day as well. We were doing one at Lochside, and Barry was great, took some wee videos of me as well as we were playing, and sometimes couples want it to be all up and dancing and everybody getting entertained before at the drinks reception. Some people just want background music and stuff like that. So when it gets to night time, if you're working alongside a DJ that you trust, it's quite good. Do you know what I mean? You can sort of jam along, and it means as well, if they're kind of chatting away on the mic at the same time, it gives you time to kind of jump around and get involved and things like that. But especially when he tries to trip me up sometimes with
I
some
do
of
a
the
conga
tunes.
as well. It's like a conga.
Aye, that's true. And also do a conga, which is now this kind of big thing for venue boys. It's always
seen
kind of
that.
round. So,
Barry, what about you? What brought you into events and...
So I started
General
DJing when I was
stuff?
about 16, just kind of learning at Meester House, pure random pub, roughest pub in Glasgow. Just then got liked it, and then kind of got experience, and then I was like, that's pretty good this actually. And then kind of just went from a pub to a party to a club to my first wedding. I was like, oh right, okay. It was also a lot more different to a party. And then just kind of get through there, just recommendations, weddings, and that kind of thing. So
You also offer other services as well.
yeah, so we do.
Apart from the DJ, you do a few other things, don't you?
Yes, we do like selfie mirrors, candy carts, letters, cold sparks, confetti cannons, TP tents, everything really.
Right.
Just, and again, you're kind of doing one thing. It's like, okay, I see somebody doing this, but why not do that then? And then kind of doing like a big package rather than doing.
I suppose it's good as well because it means they're only liaising with one person then, as opposed to having to liaise with lots of different companies.
Turning up, if you're turning up anyway, then you might as well have some other stuff
Telling
with
us
you.
who play sax, don't I?
I know you need to learn. Listen, there's a few people out there who are just picking up the saxophone and going as well. So
I think it's the memories as well though for doing weddings, because you've got that, like your wedding cake on, like stuff you remember the rest of your life.
Quote
like,
something from Australia,
and you always remember that's it.
Yeah.
I think as well people like, I take that kind of comfort people saying, oh, it was a great night and this, and you know, that's probably my view on it. But
I know as being a celebrant for a number of years now that I know there's got to be the right rhythm, the right flow to the ceremony because it's so for the couple, it's bespoke. Like you've kind of met the couple beforehand a few times, probably got their love story and their vow choices and all these sorts of things. So what do you think's your version of that in terms of creating a flow? You mentioned there kind of meeting the couple. What sort of information are you gathering from them?
yeah, so what I'll do, once I get a booking, I'm basically on the client's call basically from between now and the wedding, which could be say a couple of years away. Any daft questions, anything like that, you try and kind of help them. I've had a few brides, I've pretty much planned their wedding with them. Every week, I want to change this, we drink this, cool, I know we do this, do that, okay, cool. You also go and meet them, you get to know them, you find out more about them, it's more personal rather than just I'm your DJ, how you doing, let's play, fingers crossed type thing.
Yeah.
I know with you, when I never met you obviously saying
No, we had a phone call, and one thing that we done is on our wedding invites, we asked everybody for a song
Oh, that's a nice
choice, and then we had a night of listening to everybody's song choices, and then I cut them out. And went, that's not there getting played at my wedding. And then I remember just talking about, well, here's what people have requested from us. Here's maybe like 15 songs to give you an idea of like the vibes.
Yeah.
And here's 5 must plays, like you can.
And I think that's a
not
great
play those
do you know what, that's
songs
a great
like that
thing
as
to start
us.
with as well, because see when you're doing like when you're talking about the flow of the ceremony and stuff like that, especially as a saxophone player, if you're turning up to do the ceremony part of it, it's always good like to be always come up and have a wee chat with you so we can get a wee read on how you're running the ceremony as well. And
usually check in like what's the cue for the please be upstanding,
because everybody does it totally different.
They do,
and as well when it comes to doing the sign of the register, I always sort of say like maybe 2 or 3 songs because some people want lots of photos at that point in time, or else some celebrants say you know photos wait to the end, so it just depends on where you are. But I think similar to what you're saying with the vibe, you've got to kind of read the room. So if you're turning up, I'm only usually there at night as a short spell. So if I'm working with a DJ, then obviously you've kind of got an idea and we would kind of sort of coordinate so that we're not overlapping in ideas.
I would know as well like what you're going to play or what you want to play.
And we've worked with each other enough now that we sort of know what works.
So I wouldn't start playing stuff like Jubel or like Free From Desire before you come in.
And that has happened when I've literally
set,
walked in, somebody's booked a saxophone player and I walk in and Jubel's playing and I'm like, okay,
right.
That's that song.
I'll
Come
stick
on.
that on later on. That's
and it's even that as well. Like you then, if it's a surprise, it's harder because I've then got to try and like change my set to not conflict with what Kimberly's going to play. But then folks say to me, "Oh, can you play this song?" Like, I'll play it later on. I bought it now, like, but later on, like, it's trying to see anything. So it's trying to do that as well. Going back to your question about the room as well, it's like you kind of want to find out what they want played, what they don't want played. I always say as well, like, you know, has there been any funeral songs you don't want played? Because like it could be like say, I done a wedding, it was like she's a belter, and the bride's brother passed away like months before, And that was his funeral song.
That
You're
was
like,
played, aye,
didn't know, so it was like pure tears
Aye.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So I always say, like,
For
what do you
different
want played, what
reasons,
you don't want played. I don't want like cheesy music played, I don't want like GPX played, I don't want this, that.
Yeah.
And that way you've got a better understanding what to play
Aye.
and do that.
Yeah. It's important to connect with them as well. And are you the same, Kim? Do you kind of have kind of pre-meetings and how does all that work?
So
with
in
your planning?
terms of, we usually kind of chat, I'll kind of get a wee chat with them just over either kind of like message and things like that, or if some people do want to have a kind of phone call and stuff, which is totally fine. So usually I would sort of say, kind of getting a vibe off them of who they've got. I'll always ask if they've got a band or a DJ booked, because it is different.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that couples need to think about, because a lot of the time when they book a saxophone player, sometimes they just go, right, can you just play us into the room and can you just do that? And you're like that, right, but can you do it as a surprise? Can you just pop out? And you're like that, well, no, because I need to plug a microphone in, a mixer, I need to set up, I need to do a sound check to make sure that when I actually start playing, it doesn't go bang.
Aye.
So there's wee things there that I think is important. But yeah, I think you've got to kind of sort of read the room when you're walking in. So I think for me, when it comes to the kind of set list and things like that, there was an incident where the couple wanted hardcore rave GBX from the minute that I walked in, and it did bomb slightly. So it started really, really well, and then you know that way you're like 2 songs in, the couple were loving it. Not everybody else in the room was loving it, so you have to instantly just.
It's kind of like from their era.
Yeah.
Where they met or whatever, but not necessarily for the wider
Straight
crowd.
in, it was TTF.
So that's something that I'm quite intrigued about, when you have your couple asking for something, but you can tell the guests aren't enjoying it. How do you take that on? Because I have been at an event where it has been heavily GBX. No one has been up dancing and asking the DJ for songs, and they're going, sorry, I can't play it. And I'm looking around going, just play it. And eventually, maybe an hour and a half later, they played it and the dance floor filled immediately.
Aye.
You know, they spoke to the couple and were like, listen, I think we should change the music up here. It's not really fair for everybody else. So how would you judge that? What
do you want to answer this one and I'll chip in?
I always say to clients as well, what stuff do you want played? I want so what I normally do between set, right, is from your first dance to your buffet, I call that the boring hour, without sounding bad, because a lot of folk don't really dance in.
And that's the mingling.
When you get your guests coming for evening, what to mingle, you go to a party, you don't get up and dance straight away for 8 o'clock. It doesn't happen. You'll want to sit in. They want to come in, like your wedding, they want to come in, sit and chat to you. You had like a ton of people at your wedding. So all the evening guests want to come and chat to you, and you're trying to then, they're not wanting a bit of dance, they want to come and chat to you, mingle, blah, blah, get a drink, things like that, sit down. So I call that the bone hour. Your then buffet's, let's say, half an hour. So I'll kind of like put some stuff on during the buffet to kind of get the kind of party vibes vibing to an extent. To then kind of lift it up. So when the buffet's done, it's right.
Is that usually like a wee bit like those catchy, like sing songs?
See the people doing a wee bit of sway along.
It could be like
or half a finger in there.
In hand, they're like, oh
it's really
yeah,
good.
come
Actually,
on.
see playing like old R&B stuff. Like Dilemma, or like maybe not a wedding, but like Miss Independent, or like With You, Chris Brown. Just the vibe you can sit and chat to. They're not like pure blaring. It's just nice vibes in a bar or whatever you're just sitting chatting to, and then crank up a little bit more, bring your BPM a little bit more to more kind of faster stuff, and then maybe going, let's say, Proud Mary, or like going like with Whitney Houston, like kind of more 80s stuff. Because at the end of the day, weddings are mixed crowds. It's not like it's got to be like older aunties.
Like aunties and grannies up on the floor.
You get the ones at the way, play the slosh and that, like before 10 o'clock, and it's like, okay, you've had your wee half hour, your hour, let's get the tunes on.
And there is only there is some times that you turn up in, if it's a wedding, particularly if you've just kind of walking in, if it's a saxophone player walking in and you don't know what's been previously played, and then you turn up and it's like try to read the room. So you're saying about, what would you play? It depends on what time as well you start. Sometimes you're asked the saxophone player to play them for their first dance and then take them through their kind of first hour before the buffet.
So as you said, they're like the boring hour. So what I find a lot of the time whenever I'm doing content is that I'm usually there for the first dance, the father-daughter dance, and maximum I would say 3 songs after that is the dance floor full. Then you'll have the same 2 bridesmaids, 1 auntie and 2 cousins that are on the dance floor. But that gets really boring and repetitive for people to watch those same people back. So usually those 2-3 songs straight after, those big dances, everybody's still on the dance floor, so you're kind of hitting that hard there. And then the dance floor kind of dies
You've
out.
got to find your right song as well, and you've got to keep your songs. You don't want to play the songs too early. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
then
like
you don't want to play songs
you don't
like
want to
the
play
absolute
those big
floor
classic
filler.
Yeah,
ones
right away.
too
because then you don't want
soon.
to play the songs later again at night. You want to kind of keep it
Yeah.
fresh, so it's not like a repetitive DJ or that kind of thing, or a playlist that's on.
So where do you think works better for you
you
then?
know,
Do you think it works
it
best
depends.
to keep people on the dance floor?
I
or
always
after the
say
buffet?
it depends. I would say it depends, and it depends not on. Obviously, there's a kind of area of what we can bring to it as well, but I think depending on who you've got in your wedding party. So see, what I play at the beginning of a wedding wouldn't be particularly the set I'll play after the buffet. It might change. I mean, I would always start with like a wee bit of Young Hearts and stuff like that to kind of get a few wee disco tunes and getting everyone up. And later towards maybe like 10 o'clock-ish, they've all had a few drinks by that point, tend to be a wee bit happier. The glow sticks tend to come out, and I would say that it's a shame like content creators and photographers and stuff like that sometimes don't always stay to the end, because some of the footage that you see up of saxophone players, if they've not brought someone with them to video, a lot of that content
It's
later
good.
on. So I would say that'd be a big thing for brides as well. It'd be good to kind of get ask if you've got content creators and stuff like that. I'm just punting everybody else out there. Get your content creators to come out at night time, guys, to
But then
film
I
your
think-
saxophone players
I
and
think
get some of
seeing a
that
sax
content.
after the first dance, I think that's because people still know what to dance right away then.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's something, it depends on where it is, but genuinely I think, but I would always like to play a later set, because I think by that point they've all had a wee drink, they've had a wee chance to have a listen if it's a band, they've had a chance to listen to the DJ, it breaks it up for them, so when they come back after the buffet, they've all had their wee rolling sausage, feeling a wee bit thingy, a few more drinks, then they're up for another wee party again and for another hour.
Yeah,
So
ready.
usually after the buffet, I would say, but I've done either or, but usually
I think
after
for
the buffet.
selfish point of view for a DJ, when you're playing like your stuff, I then can't play it because I'm like,
I
I've
know.
played it, so I need to try and, I need to work now.
You do see that, you're like, oh no, you've played my tune.
How much do couples say to you when they book either of you that they're booking you because of like they've seen a sax player at a wedding, or the DJ at such and such wedding done this particular thing? Do you find that couples quote things and kind of get you to sort of replicate things, or
Yeah, I've had that a few times. We were just chatting before the podcast, actually, fun enough, about Facebook, Instagram, booking and things like that. So I personally don't have a Facebook account for the business, just because, again, when I kind of first started out, I was a bit like, oh, I'm a teacher, I don't really want to be putting too much out on Facebook at the time for pupils, and then it was Instagram. But a lot of the stuff that I sometimes get, oh, I've seen this at a wedding, could you do that? Or I've seen someone else similar doing that, or else you've been recommended, or I saw you getting... It's always a recommendation. I always think it's quite nice when you get it saying, oh, I saw it at my cousin's.
Definitely.
And then you end up seeing the same people. There's like a girl, Taylor, who I've played for, and generally I think I've played for her and about 17 of her friends at her weddings. But it's good crack, because when you turn up to their wedding,
It's nice
it's guaranteed.
knowing
And you
this
feel as
is
if you're like part of the party. It's like, oh, morning, how you doing? All right, blah, blah, blah. And then you're playing at their next thing.
Yeah.
So it's actually good fun, I think, when you're booked for the same kind of
Yeah,
group.
definitely.
Innit?
Well, here's one for you. So, Caitlin, how did you, when you first seen me, because I never met you, obviously, you seen me at Hogmanay, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So-
that's right.
Not that I remember too much
So
of that holiday, not gonna
So
lie.
How when you obviously seen me, because I was never known you then, or
Yeah.
no contact, so I didn't know you.
So obviously it was a very busy night, and I wasn't going to come and pester you on the decks to be like, you're doing my wedding next year. I was like, I'll let you do what you want to do. But we found out that we got married at the Corinthian. We saw that they were having a big party, and we thought, I'm quite a sucker for staying in the house and being cosy, and I was like, we'll do it. We'll get an apartment in town. One will all go. We'll see the wedding DJ. We'll be in the room that we're going to get married in and have a big night.
Yeah.
And,
Into the
you know,
bells, into the year
into
you're
the
getting
bells,
married.
into the year that we're getting married.
That's
So like
nice.
made like a big thing out of it, and it was great because then getting to see you like actually interact with people, and it was just like instantly. As soon as we walked in, it was just tune after tune. I'm like, this is going to go down fantastically. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Like, I didn't need to think about it. So that's why I think we were pretty chill.
Yeah.
And was just like, you'll understand the vibe.
Yeah.
And I think the thing
Here's
is, it's
just
quite
your
good
must plays
that-
and just must don't plays if I hear Gangnam
Because
Style.
obviously you and I do things outside of weddings as well. So because if you're,
Yeah.
unless, because you're not doing, sometimes you obviously can't go to someone's wedding to see it. And if you're not doing it
Yeah.
as a social media thing. So like obviously Barry, you're doing a lot of things in kind of clubs and playing different
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of events as well.
Yeah.
I do the same at brunches. Do you know what I mean? If I'm doing like
Yeah.
Mosquito, a couple of the brides are all coming along like, oh, you're playing at my wedding, and then
Exactly.
blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
as opposed to
It's
doing
good.
like a sort of showcase idea, ours is a bit more of a
Yeah.
live experience.
Yeah,
So you're
yeah.
actually getting to see how the crowd interacts with you
Yeah.
and how you interact with.
Yeah.
them
What
as
I
well.
remember actually, Barry, from Caitlin's wedding as well is I remember a number of guests going up and asking you stuff, obviously asking for the classic request or sort of thing.
Yep.
And I just remember you being really like welcoming.
I
to
think
them.
you've got to be because
And like, whether you played every track, who knows really? Because you obviously it's a case
People are like,
of
nope.
the bride doesn't want it.
It's up
The-
next,
That's
mate.
Go
on
speak
her
to the
no
bride, she doesn't want
playlist.
it.
And
But,
do you
like-
whip that out when
Aye.
you just don't like a song?
But you know that way where you're a guest at a wedding and you're like talking about the wedding the next day. That matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of
That
course. I
people
said earlier
feel
on,
like,
it's like-
that DJ was
Right.
really nice, or that sax played. They gave me a minute of their time.
Yeah, I think it's like you've got to be again. You're paid to do a job to an extent. You're what my mindset is. Folk remember that the rest of their lives. So if it's a good
Aye.
DJ, then they know. If it's
Yeah.
a bad DJ, it's like, oh god, that DJ was rubbish last night or whatever.
Yeah.
So I try and get my best and give 110% to try and do everything I can. I can't please every single person, I understand that, but I'll try and please 90% people there.
Yeah.
You will get requests and you're just like, I can't play it, mate. Like, look at the crowds, like, they want
Aye.
football stuff, they want, like, and you're like, mate, it's a wedding, like, come on.
Yeah.
And I think when they bring
Someone's
kicks in
all-time,
lower,
Yeah.
Thankfully, one of my all-time tunes is Mr. Brightside, and he did play that. So thank
Oh
you,
well,
Barry.
there you go.
I think I was told to play that.
Staple.
There
Staple.
was
A
one
demand.
song that was on the must playlist, and I was in the toilet getting changed out of my second outfit. My maid of honour left the toilet. I'd like to say that I was not fully clothed and opened the toilet door and ran out. Luckily, my mum was in with me, but she just left me and went, oh well, I'm not missing that.
Oh, here I thought she was going to go out and tell him to stop playing it so you could
Aye,
get the
like,
song,
can
but
you
no,
go
she had
back?
abandoned you.
Nah, she went out. Then she did come back a wee minute later and was like, "That's pretty rubbish of me." And I was like, "If I'm missing it, you're missing it too." And if I have the power, I can go back out and say, "Back,
Exactly.
play that again."
I'm the bride.
I play
Do
that
I tell
again.
you?
I was in a costume change, hun.
Exactly. Do you have like a signature like piece of clothing you use or wear? I mean, would people remember you for
Baseball jackets.
for
So
sparkle?
I know I would say I'm going to be really vulnerable right now.
Oh.
I'm going to say it. No, do you know what? I think it's funny because I always say this to the guys as well. And I think because as a girl, you always feel there's a pressure to be like with the glitz and the glam. And do you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not a sparkly person. I am a sparkly personality, but not a kind of. I'm just not a sparkly kind of or kind of wear a
Yeah,
dress. I think especially see when you're humping PA systems in if you're not lucky enough to plug in. So I don't really have a signature. What would you say? What was my signature? My signature clothing.
See, to be fair though, like...
My
you've got
white
in-
trainers and
your
jumping
base-
about like an idiot. I
your
think
baseball
really my
jump- your
kind of
baseball
my
jump.
baseball
Fair enough.
jackets.
I remember obviously Chloe's with my cousin's wedding, you had the sparkle and
No,
like,
I did make
I was
an
like,
effort.
whoa!
So I've made an effort. I know. So I went and had I have invested. I'm saying not a sparkly person. I went and turned up. He'd asked me to play for these because it was a brilliant night when everybody was up for it. But I did invest in an all-in-one sparkly jumpsuit.
Oh, wow.
I thought I looked okay though.
You did?
He was like to me, "Where are you going?" I was like, "I know," but I just thought
Christmas a bit early, is it not?
I know, but I think it's just I think just being yourself. I've got a good friend
Right.
who always just says, just do what you do. And
Yeah,
I just
I think
think I'm
you do
most
you sort of
comfortable.
thing.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I'm most
I think you've got
comfortable
to
when you're
be,
interacting.
for you especially, being comfortable.
Aye.
In the day, when I speak to you after a shift, you're covered in sweat.
Nice, thank you. From
Nice.
jumping up and down,
Jumping up
doing the
and down like
saxophone playing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aye, but you're also covered in sweat, and obviously
Yeah.
it is warm as well, and you're just that many foot on the dance floor.
And I
also-
do get in and about it. Like I'm in and about.
Yeah.
Like you do get right in and get the crowd. And I think that is half the thing. As you're saying, how do you get them up? Or if something bombs, or if nobody's getting up, I do tend to. I really will just make a point of going out and going. It's somebody's wedding. Up you get, and I just try to feel it.
Still taking
it's
a
a
risk.
it's still taking a risk, but at least it shows that you're sort of doing everything. Because at the end of the day, the bride and groom will have a wee moment if no one is setting up and dancing, going like, right, okay, I'm panicking. So how can
This isn't
I?
working.
So sometimes I think as long as you're comfortable in what you're wearing, you're doing what you're doing.
I always touch on
then-
your clothes. If I'm going to set a PA system, if it's like a DJ or if it's like the folk man or stuff like that, you're sweating by the time you even go there. Or when you're driving down, like sometimes my clothes will get like crinkled with a seatbelt. Something like that. Like if you're
He's more
tramp.
pernickety than me.
So I like taking your clothes with me, and I'll do that.
But always smart and appropriate.
I would
Yeah,
always,
it's
do you know what?
appropriate,
I'm always
But the
smart and
memories
appropriate,
are
and I've
in the
always got,
performance.
Yeah,
and I've
yeah.
always got my wee sparkly, I've always got a wee pair of silver or white trainers on
Yeah.
and keep myself going, and that's me.
The
But
good thing with me is like people can't really see a bottom half; they can only see my top half. So I could just put like a pair of shorts on.
Yeah,
I know, and I think that's the thing. You've
Why
always
not?
got you're kind of up on the plinth. You're
Yeah.
always higher up,
The
whereas
booth
you're
as well,
down in
so
the
it's
thing.
kinda-
I know.
You're giving like the work from home vibes,
That
like
is.
shorts
Aye.
in the bottom and
Boxer
shirt at the
shorts.
top. Like, I'm having a
That
good
my slippers
time.
I
on.
know. But if it's during the day, we're always in kind of nice dresses and nice suits and nice, and we
Yeah.
always try to dress appropriate to the place that you're playing at
Yeah.
as well. Do you know what I mean? If you're in a castle, I'll wear something different from where I was if I was playing in a sort of like maybe up in Wedderley and like kind of more kind of
A wee bowling club.
yeah, in a
Yep.
kind of barn kind of place stuff. So
I think you remember as well. You're going to represent yourself obviously as well, but you're being paid a lot of money to go and
To
DJ
your
somebody's
wedding, yeah.
wedding, so you want to look presentable. You don't want to look scruffy,
No.
hair everywhere, and
Aye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's just Kimberly.
so cheeky, so cheeky.
So I want the real answer here.
Okay.
What is the song that you would happily never play or hear again? Is there one song that you go, "Ah, I'm putting that out of my rotation quite a lot. I can't
Let you go first.
deal."
I don't know. There's one. Okay, I don't know. I
It's
mean,
unlikely the artist will be watching this podcast.
no, I know.
By the way,
I
so
mean,
just
no,
go
it's
for it.
fine. Do you know what? I think for me, Jubile. I'm just going to put it out there. I know it's one that everybody loves, but see, it's funny because I think seasons that's where you play that so often. You're like, and again,
Playing your sleep.
and
Well,
again.
that's
but
it.
obviously, it's the
like
one
you're
signature.
trying to keep yourself fresh in
Yeah,
your
yeah,
sets.
yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
imagining you will shimmy stuff about if you
Yeah.
are feeling that way, and it's absolutely fine to that. But yeah,
But
I was
think
just curious to
changing
be
it,
like,
do you know what? The way that I kind of keep it fresh is just changing the order, and there's some really nice remixes and stuff out there as well. So you kind of change it about. But I think I just don't know. That's kind of maybe
That's why I
one
like doing
for
what I
me.
do with you, because it's different and you don't expect it.
Yeah,
So
because
you've
it
got
means
to work.
you've got
You're
to
not
work
on
it.
that
got to-
autopilot.
Yeah,
Right.
and
So
it
you
means-
playing mashups? You were saying earlier
Yeah.
about that, Barry. You literally playing stuff, and you don't know what.
I don't know what's coming next. There is some moments where you will, if you ever sometimes turn around, you see yourself going, okay, what's happening? What's going to go now? Then that's maybe what's happening. But yeah, no, sometimes it's. But you've got to trust what's kind of going on. We don't do it all the time. I mean, there is obviously.
you would have
it depends.
I'm guessing you are only able to really do that because you know each other so well now and that you've worked.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say yeah,
Together.
yeah. 'cause
Aye,
you
you
get a
would.
sense that every DJ is different that you kind of play along with or you can jam with, And I think for me, when I was first starting out, I was really nervous about jamming because I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm just so out of my comfort zone because I'm so used to doing, because I play in shows and stuff like that as well.
And
Not
you're like, I know exactly
absolutely,
what's
I play
coming,
clarinet
I
and
know.
flute, and I'm like, I will read the dots and that's
Yep.
it. Or else
Yep.
I've got a big band and you're happy in your own wee comfort zone. So, or else you've got your wee set. I remember when I first started, I was like, right, I've got my wee set and that's what I'm going to play. And
Yeah.
that is me.
I think
And
you do
then
find a lot of
evolve.
folk don't like playing with DJs because of just their own mind, they're all playing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think for me, it's keeping it fresh and keeping it different as well, and it's making you work to an extent.
Yeah.
In the nicest way possible, obviously. You're not going to like your
But you need
autopilot
to
and be
kind
like,
of have a rapport, I think, as well with your
Yeah.
DJ, because
Yeah.
you'll see as if you're being a guest, you'll know if you can have a bit of a laugh with your saxophone player and your DJ. If you can, if you see that they're having a laugh and a good
Aye.
time,
Well, I have to
It
say
works well.
that looks so much better for me. See, I love when I'm there a wee bit later, and I've had it loads of times where they've gone, the sax player's coming an hour later. Can you stay and capture if you're there for an hour? Even
Yeah.
the first 15 minutes, you get everybody and see when you're actually in about it, talking
Aye.
with the people, interacting properly, going, it looks great on camera, and I'm always like,
Yeah.
love it, going, that's going to make a great
I
deal.
think as
Like,
well, you
they're
can-
going to love that.
you can tell obviously, like if you go to a wedding, if you go to an event, you see a DJ and a sax player, just like, hey, how you doing? Like right up to your animosity
Yeah.
right away, and you can just
Yeah.
feel it right away, and like the full room can feel it. But no, it's good also to work with people and get to
yeah.
know
And
people.
I think there's a nice kind of group of us now as well. Like, do you know what I mean? We all got on kind of well. We all kind of know
Yeah,
each
you know
other in
who
the
you
same
like
circle
working
now.
with.
So, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've not actually answered, Barry.
Oh,
What,
they're gonna
say,
what
I
know.
song you'd never
So I
play?
don't have.
He does.
I don't have a set song. I don't.
He does.
But no. But do you know what I hate? See when you go like, see when a song first comes out. It's like when Calvin Harris came out with Miracle.
Oh yeah.
Everybody in my granny could put up Miracle, and you're like, mate, I'm just sick of it now. So you try and you're like, because I've asked every like 8 o'clock Miracle, mate. And I'm like, mate, it's first dance. Like Miracle
Yeah.
set, like it's Fan Daughter Dance, come on, like that's wasn't to say that was a song, but it was just like when songs first came out, you're like, right, okay, like
When it's sort of heavily on rotation.
Aye, so it's on all the time. It's everywhere. It's on Capital FM, Repeat FM all the time. It's everywhere. And you're just like, oh, I hate that song now.
There's some that stick. I have to say, I'm a fan of Pink Pony Club just now. I have to say it's firmly embedded. I love a wee bit of Pink
built
Pony
it for
Club.
You then.
Oh.
So I've got We Found Love into Pink Pony Club.
So in our next mashup on the next podcast, guys, look out for that.
Wow. There's sections of the day we've talked about them a wee bit because what we love to give viewers and listeners is like some real giveaways of like what do they need to consider. So let's start with the ceremony stuff. So for me, my point of view, I would say that most of the time it's tracks played from a Spotify playlist, entrance song, couple of signing songs, and exit, maybe a Piper's there or whatever. Have had yourself, as you mentioned earlier, have worked together, and another, and that's a lot softer, isn't it? Yeah, you know, there's some really nice kind of beautiful solo stuff and what have you.
And I'm a huge advocate of live music. I always think, see, at a ceremony, it means you can sort of as well, and it means things to think about if you are a bride. Sometimes things happen behind the scenes that you don't see. We were doing a wedding at Tunbury, and it was a big grand piano at the front of the aisle. And again, things to think about is how your room and how your layout is and where your musicians are going to be positioned in, because it can it changes. You can change it to suit, and sometimes you've got to think about different things. So we were doing a wedding at Tunbury, and there was a hold up at the top end. So I'm playing piano, and Chris was playing some saxophone, but we're like that. He's like, you need to keep going. I was like, what's happening? It's like, I don't know, but I had to keep looping. So whereas if you've got a track playing and that track runs out,
it's an awkward
it's
repeat
that
or
awkward
something.
moment. So it means if you've got that kind of live music there, that if something happens, the guests are none the wiser. It's just they're being entertained. And also, I think pre-ceremony, you're playing, the guests are sitting in while the ceremony's there, you're playing nice.
I do love gathering music.
Yeah, I think it makes a big difference.
I hate
people don't know how to
noise in a
talk
ceremony room.
No, there's always that awkward. Who are you sitting beside? Are you sitting here? Oh, that's great. All right, okay. So
yeah, definitely.
I think having live
it also calms the
mood.
The guests actually into relaxing. But if there is a bride or groom waiting at the bottom of the aisle, it calms them down to actually hear chitter chatter happening at the same time.
Definitely. And if you're playing a wee song that they're sort of go, oh, that's that song that they're playing, oh, they're playing that, and they kind of get a wee. Because I noticed when you're a couple of your other podcasts, you were mentioning about people leaving stuff in the seats, like the wee crossword puzzles and all that. And I think, do you know what? It can be a wee bit, because sometimes things do get held up if it's people getting ready, people get their makeup, there's nobody likes their hair, they're getting it redone. So
we're the same as well. We like first dance and that as well.
Because they might not be ready for their first dance because they're still away getting it's been a nice day, they're away getting pictures.
All the time. First dances.
Nothing's ever in time.
No.
I always say it to clients, it might not run on properly, it might not be on time, so just give it like, if it's 10 past, quarter past, it's fine. I'll just kind of play about, or I'll do the halfway jokes or something to kind of break the ice, and just things like that to kind of make it more that way.
What's the ultimate, back on you, Barry, I know, have you ever played like earlier on in the day? What sort of...
so we can do. We've done a few weddings where it's been a full day one. So you're doing like the ceremony music. You're doing during the meal, doing like a boozy bingo during the meal as well to break the ice up during the. So that's fun as well.
That always goes down. Really, I enjoy that because that's always
that's something
different
to do as well.
for me.
You can do like a boozy bingo, like the bingo cards out and like all the threes, and they play like set you free entrance, and the full place is going mental. Like
love that.
And then obviously like doing like changeover, and it's like okay, and for evening guest night and them as well. It's like a total different vibe, but it's kind of setting that vibe that you've got to take on.
But it started obviously back to a few questions ago about the planning meeting with the couple and getting their
so you need to kind of find
vibes, and as Caitlin and Callum went to the extreme of getting song choices and stuff like that. But
I always say to clients
work
what
with
you
them
want.
on that stuff.
I always say kind of what you want, what stuff you want played. Most of them will say I like mixed music. Most of them will say I want these songs played, I want this specific song played, I don't want this played. I'll say to clients as well, I've got a wedding next Saturday the 1st, and I've got a 10-hour playlist. I'm like, I can't play that. So I won't play that off a playlist, I'll just play my stuff and then can I throw stuff in as well. Not all about me, but I don't want to be just playing a playlist and letting board in my head for 5 hours. Doesn't look good.
Use it as inspiration for
some people can send too much stuff. It's like let the DJ actually do their thing, like give them those recommendations to that is your sort of vibe and what you're going for, but let you actually see.
But it's got to be that sense of
to.
this is going well, I'll keep doing this. This is needing a wee bit of change. You've got to have that kind of a sense
And as you were
in your
saying
head.
earlier, you were saying as well that there is a mixed crowd. It's not always the one age group. So you want to try and give a wee bit there that's going to get a wee bit of everybody up and give them their chance to dance with the couple and dance with the bridesmaids, and not just make it all about the same group, as you were saying, the same group of people up at the one time. So you've got to take inspiration from what you're saying.
I've said to clients as well, like, I want this player, I says, like, just hire speakers. Not putting on a DJ, hire speakers. If that's what you want, that's
specific.
It's that way. Hire speakers and do it that way. And a lot of folk don't do it.
Yeah. What is the ultimate track to finish the night on?
Loch Lomond.
Again, it is the it's the send off. It's going. It's home time, folks.
But a lot of folk don't like it. And then again,
do you get a lot of people who maybe want it like 20 minutes or half an hour before the actual end? Allow that buffer?
Know that length of time. I'll say to clients,
maybe a couple of songs.
So maybe do like, so say the party went finished at 1 o'clock and your last was at 12:30. From like 20 to maybe do like Loch Lomond then, and then make it as if it's like the last one. But then do one more tune, and they all join in.
So a different song
and then do
becomes
like
the
bits and
encore.
pieces, and then do like
for us, it's always for saxophone players. It tends to be I'm just rolling myself in with all saxophone players, but it just tends to be either bits and pieces, the Glen, or else like if you're going kind of like old school, like Dignity or something like that. It depends on where you are. So depends on what kind of crowd you've got. But I would say the Glen's the one that's kind of been the one that's kind of bumping so much towards the end now. But bits and pieces, the Glen, Dignity, all that kind of stuff. So what I'll do
as well with my set is in the last kind of between like kind of last order to the last dance, I'll do like Dignity, Mr. Brightside, the kind of big ones that get people up the dance floor.
So keep them up there.
When that song's played, the last one, they're there, and it's like, right, let's go for it now. And like, and I think that
amazing.
To me, I think that gives you a better atmosphere for your last dance because they're all wanting to party still.
Fantastic.
Because by that point we've already done our fireball, waka waka and all that as well. So the usual.
And where can couples find you guys to be able to book?
For me, you can get me on kd.sax on Instagram, and you can get me on my website as well. And I may, after this podcast, after speaking to you as well, Caitlin, might start a Facebook. We'll see how it goes. But at the moment, Instagram and website on kd.sax.
Go for it,
you can get me on Facebook at BM Events Glasgow, and also Instagram, BM Events Glasgow as well.
Right, and just one top tip, what's the must-do thing that couples need to do when they're planning, like the power of the sax player?
Book early, definitely just book early. You might think it was going to be, you're booking really far in advance. We're still getting dates in for 2027, 2028. So what I would say is, if you're looking for music, get it booked really, really early.
Yeah, book straight away, especially DJs. Sax players, without disrespectful, as an extra. But your DJs are the full night.
So if you want to book another DJ...
No, but your DJs are also the full night.
Yeah.
So, your sax player might not turn up, some might not a sax player, but they might depends what they want. So, book early. There's bookings for 2027, 2028 now as well for me. So,
I always say to couples, our diaries are open for the length of time. Venues' diaries are open. So
yeah, I know. So and I would always say go through, I've just thrown on, I would always go through a recommendation. I think sometimes it's good to see, as you were saying, Caitlin, go and see the person live if you can, and go and see how they interact.
Yeah, if you've got an opportunity, or even ask them, are you playing somewhere, or how can we see you? Or, if they've got maybe full length videos, if you've only got a reel that's quite short but you want to see a bit more, just ask, because...
But, full disclaimer, ladies and gents, do not crash another wedding,
No,
to
don't
see these people.
I'd love to be involved in that. If that does happen, please let me know. I would love to be there to capture that. Thanks.
Free content creation for that.
Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us, and love reminiscing over my wedding day as well. So that's always a joy for me. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. I am Caitlin.
And I'm George. Remember to like, subscribe and follow to keep up to date with all of our podcast episodes. And we'll see you on the next one.